Hello and welcome to the Car Care Nut channel. So in today's video we're going to talk about warranty and what voids your car's warranty, whether it's the comprehensive or the powertrain warranty, and examples in between and everything else. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. If you are a returning subscriber, well, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So what voids your car's warranty? Let's talk about a few scenarios and a law that you actually need to be aware of. It's the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act. Now this law actually applies to many things, not just cars, but let's talk about how it affects cars. Basically, and I'm not a lawyer, but we're just make it simple here. Simple but complicated, that's the theme of our channel here. If you fix your car with non-original parts, that does not void your warranty on the rest of the car. Let's dive into this deeper with an example, because you need to understand how this works. Let's say you have a Toyota. Your comprehensive warranty is 3 years, 36,000 miles. Your powertrain warranty is 5 years, 60,000 miles. Let's say your car is 4 years old, has 40,000 miles. You're out of the comprehensive warranty. You're still within the powertrain warranty. And then your alternator went out. Well, that's not powertrain covered an item. That is a comprehensive item. You went to the dealership. Alternator was $400. Aftermarket one was $150, you're on a budget, you went with the $150 one, understanding that it could not be the same, could not last the same and all that. You replace this alternator, life was good. Now you're into 4.5 years, so 6 months later, 50,000 miles, your water pump went out. You went to the dealership to get this under powertrain warranty, to get it taken care of. Well, the dealership cannot just come out and say, well, you have an aftermarket part here, this is not covered anymore. We cannot see a single aftermarket part in this car. This is what that law does. They cannot force you to use original parts for all repairs all across the car just to maintain some warranty on the rest of it. I hope this makes sense, and let's talk about this exact scenario on another way. Well, if you go and replace your alternator, now who warranties that alternator, if they gave you any kind of warranty, is the manufacturer of that alternator, not the manufacturer of the car, and that's how this works. Now here is where the Magnuson-Moss law actually limits abuse, because people could take advantage of this as well. If you replace your alternator with an aftermarket unit, and if that alternator all of a sudden causes all kinds of electrical gremlins that otherwise would have been covered by your warranty, and the repair person, technician, like myself, determines that, wait a second, all these issues that would have been covered by warranty are actually caused by this one non-original part, that could actually void your warranty. Basically, if you have an aftermarket part or a non-original part, or you did the repair yourself, will not void your warranty on the rest of the car unless the current condition that you have, let's say you have all kinds of, your battery keeps dying, you have all kinds of problems with the electrical system, there is a direct cause that this part caused this failure, then you're out of your warranty, and then it actually goes on the warranty of that part, because you go to company B that made this alternator and you tell them, your part caused all these issues, and that turns into a whole different avenue. Folks, it is very important that you understand this, because people seem to have an understanding of, oh, if I put a single aftermarket part in my car and I show up at the dealership, they're automatically going to void all my warranty. That's not how it works, because it depends on what your concern is. You're showing up at the dealership, you're trying to get something covered under warranty. If the aftermarket parts that you have in the car are not causing this issue, then this has nothing to do with that. If there's any suspicion or doubt, it needs to be completed before we move on from this is not causing this issue. If it is causing this issue, you can't also take advantage of the manufacturer of the car that gave you this warranty and put some aftermarket part that's causing issues, and now you're putting it on them. That's also not fair. So it needs to be fair game. That's how warranty works on cars. Now here's a different scenario where your warranty will be voided, but you need to be very clear on this. And this is, I'll give you an advice at the end of this section, so you really need to remember. So body repairs, and this is when your comprehensive warranty, let's say your 1-year-old 12,000 mile car that's still under comprehensive warranty, could have its warranty voided on certain things. Let's give you a scenario here. You got in an accident. The driver's door got dented and you took it to a body shop, they fixed it, they did a brilliant job and a beautiful job. But then, a few months later, your window fell off track. Things happen, you're upset, it's your new car, this shouldn't happen. You took it to a dealership. The dealership needs to do their due diligence to you and at the same time to the manufacturer of the car, because we can't be charging the manufacturer for things that their design or their production did not cause. So when the technician takes this door apart and looks, wait a second, there was body work here. This door was removed from the car. Everything inside of it was removed. The door might have been replaced. The door might have been repaired. And the body shop missed the fact that the window regulator, the part that pushes the window up and down, was bent. And it was structurally damaged. And then as you got the car back, you used it a few times, it broke. Well, whose fault is that? It's not your fault, by the way, because you got in an accident, you got an insurance, that's an accident, things happen. But you can't also tell the manufacturer, well, it's your fault, you gotta warranty this. They didn't cause the accident. But really where this goes back to the insurance, body shop, they missed it. Body shop fixes bodies, they don't deal with mechanical stuff. So there is no fault here. You just have to go through the correct channels and the correct order of things and not just start the blame game. I see this so many times in the service department. Somebody comes in, car been in an accident, very clear there has been an accident, and no, they are fighting, they are saying, this is not fair, you're taking advantage of me. No, folks, you need to understand your rights and your responsibilities. It is very important that you do this distinction, because before you start yelling and screaming and why is this, my car is new, your car got in an accident. If this issue that you have right now is related to that accident, then you don't need to be talking with your warranty. You need to be talking with your insurance. Hey, I still have issues from this accident that you fixed. Insurance company will send an adjuster again. They will talk to the dealership or the repair shop or whoever is working on the car. Hey, what happened? Show us, take pictures, do documents and everything. Okay, we can see that this was caused by the same accident that showed up a little bit later. We will take care of it as part of that claim. You just have to understand your rights and responsibilities. This is important because at the same time that you don't want to be taken advantage of at a dealership for warranty, you don't want to take advantage of that warranty and kind of abuse your rights as a customer. That is also not right. And another example that is very common with this stuff, with body work, damages to the car's body and all that. Windshields and glass, glued glass, like a quarter glass, for example. Well, what happens if your new car got a chip on the windshield? And then you got that windshield replaced. You used an original windshield, it cost you a small fortune. You put that windshield on, and then there was a water leak. Well, who's responsible for that? You put an original windshield, so you go back to the dealership that installed it, or, hey, I put an original windshield, why is my car leaking water? Whose fault is that? The warranty will have nothing. Hey, the glass we installed at the factory worked perfectly fine, and it didn't leak, but now you have this original glass, but somebody else installed it. Goes back to the installer. Hey, your bad installation job caused the leak. Now the car is full of mold. Now it's basically a flood car and we need to deal with this whole thing. That's how this flows. You just need to understand your rights and responsibilities and not just blame the first person that shows up. And the biggest thing, folks, and this is the most important thing that you do, because I see this happen all the time. When you go for a warranty claim at a dealership, you have an issue, you're trying to get it under warranty, do not hide facts. I cannot tell you how many people show up at the dealership, they're trying to get something warranted. I can clearly see that this car has been in an accident. The minute we see that, it's like, this is now not a warranty issue, this could potentially be an insurance issue. But when the customer gets all upset, no, the car's never been in an accident. Well, as a professional, I'm looking at it. There is very, very clear signs that this has been an accident. And they insist and they hide the facts. Don't do that. It's not worth it. You come to a dealership, they will help you if you are forward and honest with them. Hey, this car has been in an accident. This could be related, could be not. I am not the expert. You look at it. You tell me what's going on. If it is an accident related, then I need to call my insurance because this is a continuation of the claim. Or you go through the channels and the dealership will actually, when they see you forward, honest, you're not trying to take advantage, you're just trying to claim your rights wherever they are, they will help you. They will basically tell you, hey, call your insurance, have them send an adjuster, and we'll be more than glad to explain to them everything and show them, and you are taken care of and life is good. So what happens when you do your own repair or take your car to another shop, non-dealership, while your car is under warranty? Folks, there are many laws on this, and it depends where you live. And by the way, in case I didn't mention it, the Magnuson-Moss law applies to the United States. If you live outside the United States, there might be similar laws in your country, but you always need to understand these laws. Now, in the United States, when it comes to DIY repairs or aftermarket shop repairs, non-dealership, they do not void your warranty, granted they are done correctly. I'll give you examples. If you do your own maintenance or you take it to a shop, they use inferior oil filters. For example, they use a very bad quality oil filter, very bad quality oil, and the engine has an issue. You show up at the dealership, we will do the investigation. We're going to find out that, wait a second, this filter is all crushed, all horrible, not really doing its job. The oil, we send it to oil analysis, we do whatever the case investigative work that we need to do, and we determine this is either the wrong oil, it's very poor quality, and this oil does not meet the specifications from the manufacturer. This turns from an issue that you have to you did not follow the procedures. Of course, the warranty is void at that point. But if the car shows up at the dealership and it has an engine problem, the oil filter is good, the oil is correct and good, why would there be a reason for warranty to be denied? That's after an investigative work is done and everything looks right, there is an issue that from manufacturing, for whatever the case may be, that caused this. There is no reason for warranty to be denied at that point. Same thing with transmission, same thing with everything else. As long as the maintenance is done correctly, following the procedures of the manufacturer, using the correct fluids, and again, the correct fluids can be aftermarket as long as they follow the specifications of the manufacturer. That's the thing. You can't mix and match. We can't be using the incorrect coolant, and then now we have a problem with the cooling system, and we want warranty. Well, that's not, you did not do things right. But if you do things right, and whoever shop you take it to do things right, there shouldn't be an issue to begin with because you're doing things right, and you wouldn't have issues caused by incorrect maintenance to begin with. Do you follow what I'm saying here? The main thing is you use good quality parts. If you want, well, in the case of Toyota, in my opinion, original parts are great. Some other aftermarket parts possibly are good, but in my opinion, I would play it safe and go with the original stuff. You can't have a second doubt with that, but if you go aftermarket, make sure they meet the manufacturer specification and this is the correct fluid, part, whatever the case may be, for this car. So what actually does void your warranty? Let's talk about it. The main thing that voids your warranty is the following: modifications. This is very important. So when you put that big, hot, cold, whatever air intake, or you start putting the chip to make more power out of this car, that's modifications. Because when you install aftermarket parts, you are putting a part that is equivalent to the original design, did not deviate from it. Perhaps the outside casing, the color, the logo on it, but it is to the same design. But when you go modifying a car by putting a different tune, different air intake, different exhaust, you deviated from the original design of the car. And that's when the problems start. Because now you potentially are pushing this part that the engineers spent years and years designing past its safe limits. At that point, you're on your own. And here is another one on this. I see so many people, they modify their car, but when they have an issue because they're about to blow up their engine, they put all the original stuff back and they bring it to the dealership. We always find out. Again, don't hide facts from the dealership. We always find out. Either look at the parts, they look like they've just been put on, and usually, and this is the best part, when people do this, they bring the car to the dealership and everything is all wrong, the wires are not routed right. It's very clear that somebody's been here. And when we ask, and we go, no, I've never done anything. Well, then who's been here? Somebody's been here. You've owned this car since it was new. Somebody's been here, and here's the evidence of that. If you're not going to come forward, we're going to say there has been tampering, and we're done. That's the bottom line. But when people are forward, we try to help them, but at the same time, we cannot take advantage of the manufacturer. This is not right. The auto manufacturers, by the way, in the United States at least, their dealerships do not belong to them. They are a franchise private entity. So when there's a warranty claim, the manufacturer actually pays the dealership to do this work. So basically, in an essence, the manufacturer is a customer as well. So it is in the dealership's best interest to, again, be as transparent as possible with the manufacturer. Here's what happened, here's the failure point, here's the cause, and here's the total bill. But when the dealership tries to play games with the manufacturer, guess what the manufacturer can do that is different than the consumer? They could say, no, we're not paying this claim, or we're going to pull your franchise agreement because you're playing games here. Of course, that is an escalated point, but you get the point here. The dealership's got to do their due diligence. They're not paying the bill here. The manufacturer is. They have to present all the facts. Just like when you take your car in for a repair, they don't just do the repairs and then tell you, oh, here's the bill, by the way. No, you have to make the decision. You have to be presented with all the facts. Then you can make a decision to say yes or no to do the repair. Same thing with the manufacturer. So modifications is a big one. Another one is off-roading. You know, in Toyota land, we have a lot of awesome trucks that usually go off-roading. Here's an example, a 4Runner that is lifted off the ground. Well, it has a lift kit. It's an aftermarket lift kit. There's nothing wrong with that. But just understand that this will void some aspects of your warranty. For example, if you lifted your truck and all of a sudden it starts to eat up front axles, well, they're not going to warranty that because you changed the angle, you changed the original design of the truck. And I see this all the time. People get upset. Well, you lifted the truck. All of a sudden I have vibrations, I have noises, I have the steering doesn't go straight, the truck wanders, and I can't, it just doesn't feel the same. Well, you modified it. Of course, this was not its original intended design. But here's another scenario with off-roading, because there is a catch here. Let's say you lifted your 4Runner, you understand that your front differential, your four-wheel drive system, your suspension could have issues with the warranty now because of the modification. But say your water pump went out. Well, what does that have to do with the lift kit? Nothing really. Or you developed an oil leak from the engine. Well, what does that have to do with your modification? Nothing. So it gets covered. That's how there is a little bit of common sense and presentation to this. If your modification had direct relation to the failure point or the issue that you have, that could void your warranty. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't, and it's not even going to be a factor at this point. Another one, which is a common offender, racing and neglective use. I call it neglective use because, I'm sorry, if you take a very nice, reliable economy Corolla and you start racing it, guess what? Things are going to go south. That's just how it is. Racing usually is the easiest one to find because we see these cars when they're new and we see them as they progress in the miles. All of a sudden you get this car at 10,000 miles that looks like it has 100,000 miles. It's just beat down, worn down. That is actually reason for the dealership to kind of put a red flag and say, hey, what's going on here? I look at your tires, I look at your brakes, I look at many factors in the car. Everything is completely worn down. Have you been swapping parts? Trust me, people will do all kinds of things. Those bad people who want to abuse the system will do all kinds of things. But racing is one that really brings the red flag down and we have issues. So Honestly, unless you got like a Supra or a car of that nature that is a performance-oriented car, avoid racing in your cars while they're in warranty, because you're going to get yourself in hot waters, and before you know it, the warranty is void for this, for that, and now we have issues. So folks, the final thought here on warranty. Common sense plays a big factor in this. You need to understand your rights, but you also need to understand your responsibility. Wherever you maintain your car, you need to maintain it in order to keep your warranty. Because if you show up at 25,000 miles and the engine is blown up and there are obvious signs that this car was not maintained, that could be an issue. But if your car was maintained, the question will not be, where did you maintain it? Where is it? No, it's been maintained and it's clear, but something else happened, and that's a different story. Take care of your cars. Keep records, and that's the other thing. Doesn't matter where the records come from, keep records as best as possible. That way, should there ever be a question, you have all the documentation to support it and be clear, and you won't have any issues. And the biggest thing is, don't hide facts. Say things as they are, and you won't have issues, because the dealerships are not out there to deny your warranty, void your warranty, and send you out the door. No. Warranty work is also business for the dealership, but this is an important one. They also have the manufacturer to report to, just like they would report to you if you were the customer. They have the manufacturer, they have to present all the facts, they have to document everything, and everything, they are responsible for it. So they're not just going to be, oh yeah, let's warranty this, let's warranty that. Well, the manufacturer will come back and say, hey, where's your documentation, and why did this part fail? Why are we paying you this for this? Just like a customer would if you never get informed of repairs, and just the repairs were just done and now you're presented with a bill. That's not how this works. And folks, before we wrap up this video, and this is completely unrelated to the video, I just wanted to bring it up. This video was actually filmed in a completely different format. I had a viewer brought me their car, we were doing some work, and I took that opportunity because his 4Runner had some examples that I wanted to show you, but unfortunately something happened with the camera and the movie was corrupted and I couldn't really reconstruct it and make something out of it. So I'd like to give a huge shout out to Uzmar, who took his time, came in. We did other stuff to the truck, but he took his time, waited patiently while I filmed that movie, and unfortunately it got lost and we couldn't make it. But here's a picture of his beautiful 4Runner, and I really appreciate you, Uzmar, for taking the time and actually helping with the idea of making this video. I hope this video was helpful and informative. I hope now you have a better understanding of what voids your warranty and what are your rights and what are your responsibilities. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. And until the next video, folks, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.